What up? Whoa, 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 whoa. That was blurry. What up? It's your boy, Cuzzintruck, coming at you from the Sunshine State, even though it's kind of cool out here today, so I got the jacket on. But you've already saw the thumbnail, so let's just get right to it. Perfect. The Ford Range Rover Explorer. No, I'm joking. I made a video a while ago where I was comparing these Range Rovers to the Ford Explorer, and so that was just a joke I made just then. But no, it's a Range Rover Velar. It is the 2024 Range Rover Velar. I like fancy stuff, but I never saw myself as a Range Rover type of person. Even after having this and having to put premium gas in it, I definitely realize I'm not a Range Rover type of person, but it's still a nice vehicle. On the keys, it says Land Rover. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but the keys say Land Rover. So I'm like, well, what is it? Is it a Range Rover or a Land Rover? I guess Land Rover is the company that makes Range Rovers. So, you know, that's what it is. I want to definitely let you know you're in a Range Rover. And right here, the emblem actually says Land Rover, which I never even noticed that before. I feel like Range Rover did the thing that I wish a lot more car companies would do, where they made this one smaller than the normal Range Rover, but it still looks like a Range Rover. Like, it looks like they literally took the big Range Rover and just shrunk it down and kept a lot of the features that the big one has. And I wish so many more companies would do stuff like that. Like, I wish when they make smaller versions of vehicles, they would just take the bigger one and just make it a smaller version. So yeah, so this here is the front grille. You also got the little grille at the bottom. This one doesn't have any fog lights on it, which I don't know. I'm noticing a lot more luxury vehicles actually do not have fog lights, and that's interesting to me. I noticed that the big Range Rover has little vents right here on the side or whatever that accent is, but on this one, they actually put it right here, which I think is kind of cool, you know. The thing I like about this one, just like the big Range Rover, is the door handles go flush with the rest of the vehicle. It's not until you unlock it that the door handles will actually pop out. Also, once you unlock this vehicle, by just pushing this button right here, yes, as you see, the door handles come out, and also the side view mirror pops out too. I don't know if there's any Range Rover people out there, but I do question, like, does something like this actually eventually start breaking? I always call this the baby Range Rover, because as you can see, I'm 6'2". And so you can see I'm definitely way taller than this vehicle. You know, like I say, it's nice for people who want to have that luxury and want to have that name, but maybe just don't have the garage space. And then you just open the door handle like normal. And this here is the interior. Now, I hate to admit, this interior is actually very basic. Like I almost feel like they're going a lot off of the electric vehicles, because the fact that all you have in this interior, right, gear shift here and the screen there, and that's basically like it. There's really no knobs or nothing to control the radio, control anything, and that just is very interesting to me. It has the Range Rover logo to help you remember that you're in a Range Rover. Now, it does have a lot of buttons on the steering wheel, which controls some things. But in 2024, you got to get used to not having no type of buttons. Like, if you're a person who likes buttons, this vehicle here is definitely not for you. And then it has a little baby Range Rover symbol on there to remind you that you're in a Range Rover. It also is nice and says good afternoon. So let's try to get this baby started. And so that was one of the things too that sort of got to me or surprised me, is that this doesn't feature anything fancy once you get it started. This doesn't start with anything fancy. I mean, it's not nothing that says Range Rover that comes, like nothing that says Range Rover that comes across the front, or it doesn't do any type of animations when you start the vehicle. So that was a little disappointing. And this dash, I don't know, it's like a hard plastic. Even this part is like maybe like a soft leather, plastic, or something like this. This right here is definitely much softer, whatever this material is. But like I say, This thing here is just extremely basic. Like, this is the gear shift here, and that's it. Like, everything else you do, you have to control from right up here on the screen. I mean, it's the AC you have to control, the radio, your phone, like everything is right here through this screen. So if you're a person who don't like to use screens, this definitely might not be the vehicle for you. And like I said, it's got some very nice, the screen isn't huge. I mean, it's about the size of my hand, I mean bigger, but it's definitely just an interesting screen it has up here. Modes. I mean, it has a comfort mode, an eco mode, which I should have been using. It also has the off-road mode. And so with that, yeah, you have your comfort mode, your grass and gravel, mud, sand. And then, you know, as you change it to different modes, you'll see that the screen or the animation of the screen also changes. The one issue is the fact that, like, there's no buttons or controls for the AC, and it's all done through the screen. And although I guess that's fancy and that's new, but my God, I just feel like when it gets time to fix that type of stuff, oh man, that's going to suck. That's going to suck. And as you can see, this one also has the panoramic sunroof, which basically goes the whole way. And this one also has a back seat. So let's try to get into the back seat and see what it's like. The car has a lot of pep to it. Like I found out it takes premium gas, and when you put that premium gas in it, I mean, you just put your foot on the pedal and this thing takes off. So you definitely need to put premium gas in this vehicle. So, my oh my. I'm actually in the rear of the vehicle right now, and I probably won't shut the door because it's going to get a little dark in here. But as all of you know by now, I'm 6'2". And I only say that just so you know, like, what size I am. Right now, just the way I'm sitting, this don't feel too bad. I hate to admit, it is a tight spot. There really ain't no space for these legs of mine back here. I mean, like, I can't even close my legs right now. Like, I don't even think I can close the door. Oh, okay. All right, I can close the door, but look where my knee is. Like, I am snug back here. Definitely two people my size could squeeze back here. It's gonna be a very uncomfortable ride. And yeah, this might not be the best place for a tall person. I mean, it can work out fine for kids and shorter people, but for a tall person, nah, this ain't gonna work. I can't say it's comfortable because that's not true entirely, but it's not too bad for a quick trip to the store, around the block. I mean, going out to a restaurant, but I wouldn't say like going on a road trip, no. Unless, you know, obviously you're going to sit up front or if the driver's going to be shorter than you are. Also have, let's get some light in here. So in the rear, they also have AC vents back here. Down there, got your standard controls. Oh, it's even got heated seats in the back. They got your standard plugs for your cell phone and things like that. You know, I forgot to point out this center compartment when I was up front. This one's kind of interesting because it opens up like two separate ways. I guess it's so you don't aggravate the passenger when they open up their compartment and you open up yours. So that's a little different, and I can understand possibly why they did that. When I used to see these Velars, I always assumed they had a third row seat. But now that I'm in this one, I realize, like, yeah, it ain't enough space back there for a third row seat. But there is a trunk, so let's get back here and check it out. And this is the rear of the vehicle, which is actually very nice. These dark tail lights. I know, like, the big Range Rover has, I guess, what do they call it? Like the blacked out tail lights, where you can't even, it's like it's all black, and you can't even really tell it's a tail light until they hit the brake. Especially if it's on a black vehicle. If it's on a white one, obviously it'll stand out like a sore thumb. But in a black vehicle, it's all just kind of flush, and you really can't even tell where the tail lights are. I like the way it kind of swoops down and just kind of sticks out. It kind of reminds me of those old Infinities, the FX Infinities, which I always like those. Rover. I don't know if it's hard to see those dark letters there. And yes, this is the Velar. And this is more the rear. And like I say, it's got a nice little rear end to it. So let's open up this trunk. And yes, as you already know, it's 2024, so a lot of stuff is all push button. And this whole rear end opens up. The glass doesn't open, but the whole rear end opens up. And this here is the trunk space. So it has the little covering on top to kind of hide your stuff from public viewing. But you can easily just kind of slide this back. And there you have it. As you can see, it ain't a whole bunch of space. Like, I do think I could fit my whole body back here. Somebody asked me about that recently. Why do you always say that you can fit a body in the back of a vehicle? And I told them it's not because I'm trying to say that you're gonna kill somebody and stuff them in the back of the vehicle. Let's just say like you're with a bunch of people and it's starting to rain and everybody's trying to leave real fast and somebody needs to jump in the back. That's what I mean when I say you can fit a body back here. Not that you're gonna murder. Let me not say that because I don't want YouTube to flag my video for something crazy. 2 big bags and a little bag could fit back here. Hey, to me, if you're going on a road trip in this type of vehicle, you might just want to pack wisely. Looks like it's definitely enough baggage for like 3 or 4 people, but I mean, only really 5 people, really 4 big adults can even fit inside of here. I ain't gonna say comfortably couldn't even fit inside of there. And so this is the rear end. Like I say, it's spacious enough, but you know, and I didn't look down here, but okay, that's where the spare tire and all that stuff is down there. But yeah, I originally thought these things had a 3rd row seat, but I'm now realizing, yeah, that's not possible at all. It also has a 12-volt charger back here, which, okay, that's interesting. So, and this is the rear of it. And so let's say everything nowadays is push to close. So you just push this button right here and voila. It closes on up. This has been a pretty nice vehicle for the weekend. I went down to Miami to a show down there. And like, you know, being in Miami, being on South Beach, you definitely fit in with the, well, I'm not gonna say the upper echelons, but you know, you kind of fit in well in this type of vehicle down in Miami. I do think these go for almost $70,000 or $80,000. Somebody Google search me, like Google that to make sure I'm not lying. But I do think they go for like 70, maybe 80. Maybe you can find a nice used one for 60. But you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on in the world, but things have definitely changed and vehicles have gotten very expensive. So I mean, it's like, I don't know. Like even me. You know, I got my job, I make my little money, but I don't know where some people are making money to afford certain vehicles and these type of vehicles. But, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you can still always rent one. I mean, and, you know, and feel like you're a part of upper society, even if it's just for a weekend. This vehicle has been very nice. It drives really smooth. I don't know if you can see, but on the dash, it goes up to 170. So it's a vehicle that seems like it loves to speed. No, I'm not gonna say love the speed, but it's definitely a vehicle that's made well. And even when you get up to, you know, above 80, 90, it still feels solid and definitely feels like it still hugs the road. So that's always good. So as I've always said, I definitely thank you guys for always checking out the videos. I ask that you please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good old-fashioned stuff. Right now, I don't know if some of you can tell, but Cuzzintruck is definitely trying to fight those YouTube algorithms because it has changed and it's like my views are definitely down, but you know, that's just a part of life. At the end of the day, I never started this just for the views and just for that type of stuff. It's always been nice, but it is something that I enjoy doing and that's why I continue to do it. But like I say, if you guys out there have a vehicle that you would like Cuzzintruck with his impromptu, unprofessional, you know, average man reviews to check out, please hit me up, let me know. Like I say, I would just need to keep the vehicle for a weekend in order to test it out and give the people my true feelings about it. I appreciate you guys and I'll check you out on the next one. Peace. That's recording.
You do it. You're the one who wants to do it.
You were the one who asked me to record you. Know what you got to say?
Why you putting that so? You said subscribe, leave a like, and share the video.
All right.